Whether you're ready or not, sometimes it's rough. And it takes all that you've got, but he's been here, just waiting for you to knock. So take his hand and plant your feet on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to build my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to build my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to build my life on the rock.
G'day, mate. You're watching Life on the Rock.
Hi, welcome to Life on the Rock. We have a great show for you tonight. We have Colleen and Kendall Scullion. They're here from San Francisco. They're two seniors in high school, and they're going to tell us about what they're going to do on October 15th, which is a huge rosary rally there, a family rosary crusade in the heart of San Francisco on October 15th. This marks the 50th anniversary of Father Patrick Peyton's rosary campaign there in the city, where over about 550,000 people gathered. So they're having a rosary there right in the heart of San Francisco at Civic Center Plaza. And right there in the government building is a beautiful location. They're going to gather and pray the rosary. Father Andrew Apostoli will be the keynote speaker. And it's a great, great thing. And these two young people have generously come all the way across the country to share their faith and tell us about this event.
Yeah.
Doug, I want to take a few minutes here on this show just to reflect a little on World Youth Day. We had such a blessed time there, and God, we wanted to thank everybody for their prayers and their encouragement. And God, we believe, really blessed that trip. Used it in a powerful way. The crew worked real hard. And what are your thoughts a couple weeks later?
Subways, busy.
Subways?
Yeah.
Subways?
Lots of singing. Lots of singing in the subways.
Right.
It was great. It was a great trip. I mean, it's hard to pick one key thing that stands out, I guess. If I were to pick one key thing that stands out, it's what the Holy Father said. Of the many wonderful addresses that he gave, the one that really stands out to me is that you cannot have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ and not want to give it to the world.
Right.
That one got me the most.
Right.
And the fact that he's there is a witness of his personal relationship with Christ and wanting to give it to the world. Here he is, 84 years old, traveling like he does. I mean, we're in our 40s, and we felt it a little bit.
Yeah.
And here he is, twice our age, and he's out there traveling like he is, and just over and over and over, and all the different groups that he met with, saying over and again, take this message to the world. Go back to your countries, young people, and alter the world for God. Those weren't his words, but that's kind of what he said. Alter the world for God. Take that mission out there. Be valiant witnesses. That was another one that stood out. Valiant witnesses for Christ.
He spoke about mission and witness quite a bit. The theme was to be planted and built up in Jesus Christ, firm in the faith. So certainly to cultivate our own personal faith, but it just doesn't stop there, right? As you say, it drives us out to mission. And he clearly has a lot of confidence, a lot of hope for the young people, and stresses the importance of their witness in the world today. One of the quotes I like that struck me was his farewell at the airport. He says, "There is no reason to lose heart in the face of the various obstacles we encounter in some countries. The yearning for God, which the Creator has placed in the hearts of young people, is more powerful than all of these, as is the power from on high, which gives divine strength to those who follow the Master and seek Him in nourishment for life. Do not be afraid to present young people the message of Jesus Christ in all its integrity," speaking to leaders and stuff. But I thought, no reason to lose heart, right? We're made for God. Our human nature, we're made to be fulfilled, long for Him. We need Him in our life. And no matter how far south, so to speak, the culture goes, it cannot wipe that out. Every human person has that within them, no matter what's going on in the culture, right? We want God. So calling upon people to support the young people who are returning home from this great event, to encourage them, to build on that momentum and to help them to grow in the faith.
Yeah.
So
we're wired for it.
We're wired for
We
it.
just need to act upon that.
Right. So we have a World Youth Day music video our people here, Jody, put together for us. And so we're going to roll that. We showed it last week, but we wanted to show it again. It was so good.
faith is filled, a beacon in the night, shines a holy light. Let the darkness fall. There's a new day for us all. This is where we belong, the place that we call home. We gather as one body and one Lord. This is where we belong, the place that we call home. We come to live and love where we belong. A chosen place revealed, a people being healed. New life will begin, the dead will rise again. Open up the doors, let the healing waters pour. This is where we belong, the place that we call home. We gather as one body and one Lord. This is where we belong, the place that we call home. We come to live and love where we belong. This is where we give our hearts. This is where we share our faith. This is where we make a difference. Right here in this place. This is where we belong, the place that we call home. We gather as one body and one Lord. This is where we belong, the place that we call home. We come to live and love where we belong. This is where we belong, where we belong. This is where we belong, the place that we call home. We gather as one body and one
Music was by Josh Blakesley, and that brings back some good memories, doesn't it, Doug?
It does.
You know, it's such a sign of hope to see young people united in the faith, and you just know a lot of those young people are going to go home and do stuff, right? And take that faith
Yeah.
and put it into service when they get home. So that's I don't know, it always encourages me, you know, to see the World Youth Day youth and see their excitement.
Yep.
We have on the phone Dale Alquist. Are you there, Dale?
I am, gentlemen.
Hey, well, welcome to the show, and we invite you on to talk about this new academy. Can you tell us about it?
Well, as you guys probably know, I'm a little bit interested in G.K. Chesterton.
Some would say obsessed.
Some would say that, but you know, they're wrong. I've had the privilege of helping get a new high school started up in Minnesota in the Twin Cities, and it's called Chesterton Academy. It's a new high school, and it uses Chesterton as the model thinker, and that's one of the great things about it. But what really sets it apart from other schools is that we are really focusing on a classical Catholic education. I think everyone's really discouraged about the state of our schools these days, and even some of the Catholic schools are not delivering the message because everything's become so fragmented, and the way we teach is so broken, and kids think in a broken way, and we really have put together a very integrated curriculum that is completely connected to the Incarnation. Chesterton has this great line that things can be irrelevant to the proposition that Christianity is not true, but nothing is irrelevant to the proposition that Christianity is true. So every truth that we teach is connected to that central truth of the Incarnation.
How big is this school? How many grades does it cover?
It's a high school. It's 9 through 12. We just started our 4th year, and we have 64 students.
Wow. Do you help out teaching, or how are you involved?
They let me teach every now and then, but I'm one of the co-founders, and I've helped create the curriculum, and at the end of the year, I swoop in and teach a few Chesterton texts to each of the classes.
And so you all have been growing over these 4 years? And
We started with just 10 students 4 years ago,
that's
and now we already have 64.
What is in general, what do the young people like about Chesterton? What appeals to them?
Well, I think they like the fact that it is a very intimate community. Everyone's very connected to each other. They love the curriculum. They like the fact that they're learning philosophy as 9th graders. They're being taught how to think. They're exposed to Plato and Socrates and Aristotle even in 9th and 10th grade. So they know how to put every truth to the test. I think they like the fact that it's Catholic. They like the fact that we emphasize the arts. All the students learn how to sing. They all learn how to draw. They all learn how to act. They all learn how to stand up and give a talk. They like the fact that the sciences and the arts are connected together, that the humanities and the math and the hard sciences, everything is very integrated.
Well, it sounds like you're raising up apostles there to change the culture.
Well, you can sit around and wait for the schools to improve, or you can do something about it yourself, and that's been the great privilege of getting this school started. And it's gotten a lot of attention, and in fact, we've gotten requests from people all around the country of how can we start a school like this, and that's what we're trying to do, is create a model that other people can follow.
And to get in contact with you, what is? Do you have a website or something people could reach you at?
ChestertonAcademy.org. ChestertonAcademy.org.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your great work, and especially for all your work down here at the network over the years. You've been a tremendous servant here.
It's been a real blessing to be involved with EWTN, and G.K. Chesterton has really. His profile has been raised around the world as a result of EWTN broadcasting our shows, and as a result, a lot of people have come to the Catholic faith, and they've grown both in wisdom and joy.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
God bless you guys.
Okay. We'll be back with Colleen and Kendall Scullion talking about the Rosary Rally in the heart of San Francisco. So don't go away. We'll be back in a moment.
At Chesterton Academy, we do more than just read G.K. Chesterton. We read Homer.
And Virgil.
And Plato.
And Aristotle. This is actually Beethoven.
And St. Thomas Aquinas.
And St. Francis of Assisi.
St. Teresa of Avila.
And Shakespeare.
And Chaucer. And Dante. And Dickens.
And Dostoevsky.
And G.K. Chesterton.
And the Old Testament. And the New Testament.
And the Catechism of the Catholic Church.
At Chesterton Academy, everyone learns to draw and paint. everyone sings in the choir.
And everyone does.
Drama.
And everyone learns to get up and give a speech.
We also learn to debate.
G.K. Chesterton says, you should never let a quarrel interrupt a good argument.
Our curriculum is filled with the arts and the sciences.
Art is about articulation.
And the reason we study the arts is so that we can better articulate our faith.
Everything we learn at Chesterton Academy is connected to everything else we learn at Chesterton Academy.
There is a connection between art and science.
Both require careful observation.
Both involve looking at and appreciating creation.
Both require an understanding of proportion, which is the essence of design, of function, and of beauty.
There is a connection between history and literature.
Both tell a story.
And it is the same story.
There is a connection between math and philosophy.
Both involve logic.
Both teach you how to think.
It all makes sense.
G.K. Chesterton says, reason is from God. And when things are unreasonable, there's something the matter.
Everything we study at Chesterton Academy is connected to faith and reason.
Because faith and reason must always be connected to each other.
Which is why we read G.K. Chesterton.
I want to live my life on the rock. I want to build my life on the rock. I want to live my life on the rock. I want to build my life on the rock.
Hi, welcome to Life on the Rock. And tonight we're talking about the Family Rosary Crusade that's going to take place in San Francisco on October 15th. We're trying to promote it. You know, all you people out there in California, surrounding states, to go to it. It's a great time to witness to the faith, just to pray, right? We're in great need of prayer this day and age, and many challenges. But we have two young people to help us tonight. Colleen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Got that right. And Kendall?
Thank you.
Now, you all are seniors in high school. Can you tell us where you're from exactly and a little bit of your background?
We go to Convent of the Sacred Heart High School, located in Pacific Heights in San Francisco. We live in Marin County, so across the bridge. That's takes us about 30 minutes to get to school. We both row for the Marin Rowing Association.
You were telling me about that. That's a big undertaking, isn't it? You guys practice a lot and out there in the bay waters, I guess you'd say. Do you actually go around Alcatraz? You don't go around Alcatraz. No. That's too rough. Right? But, you're so very normal, senior, normal young people. And how did you hear about this event?
Our theology teacher emailed us from World Youth Day in Madrid and thought we would be really interested. And
she was contacted through Eva, who's one of the organizers of the Rosary Crusade.
And one thing that's interesting about your story as well is that your father was at the first one. I mentioned in the opening segment, this Rosary Crusade, Family Rosary Crusade, is taking place on the 50th anniversary when Father Patrick Peyton was there and had a crowd of 550,000 people, I believe. This is 50 years later. And your dad was at that one.
Yeah.
What does he say about it?
He
was young.
Yeah, he had 3 older sisters, and one day he got a knock on the door of people preaching to go to this event, and he was 6 years old, and his 3 sisters are older, so they remember more than he does, but he just remembers that it was overwhelming, a lot of people.
Chaos.
Yeah.
In Golden Gate
But
Park.
fun, like good chaos, not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard just like getting there was difficult, traffic, and I mean, San Francisco is already a nightmare, parking and everything without 550,000. But we had images there from YouTube about Father Patrick Peyton and the Cardinals there and a huge crowd. It's worth seeing it. He's a very inspirational speaker. I was surprised, just very enthusiastic and really revving the people up. So your dad's gonna go with you? Do you think he's gonna join you? You're gonna make it like a family?
Yeah, we're all gonna go.
Yeah.
Maybe even my grandma.
All right, all right. So you said something interesting to me earlier that you know, you kind of heard about it in a roundabout way. And you believe, as high school seniors, that if the word did get out there, that a lot of people would go if they were invited. Could you talk about that experience a little bit? Why you say
Yeah,
that?
I mean, to me, I wouldn't have heard of this experience unless we had been contacted through it, or yeah, unless we had been contacted by Eva. So I think, I mean, today there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's, I don't know, Google, Yahoo. So I feel like if these things were advertised more, then more kids our age would, or even young adults younger than us, would be informed and more inclined to go if it had been publicized more.
You agree with that, Kendall?
Yeah, I think in a world of social networking, it should be out there, it should be promoted, and it's not necessarily, but
Right.
we're
It
trying
is
to
to
do
a
that.
certain extent, though, not.
Right, and that's what we hope to do with this show too, is to inspire people out there to invite young people, right? Young people especially like to get in there, get their hands dirty, so to speak, to activism, right? Change the world. So invite a young person to go to this great rally. Now, on the phone we have Ray Frost. He is one of the organizers for this event. Ray, are you there?
Father, hello?
Hi, now we got you now.
Oh, great.
Could you tell us about this event in terms of like who's putting it on and the inspiration for it?
Well, it started as an idea by the Legion of Mary here in San Francisco, but we also were joined by the Knights of Columbus and the Immaculate Heart Radio, and we just want to remember Father Peyton, first of all. It was such an important event in the history of the Archdiocese of San Francisco. One historian calls it the most important event, and we know that there's a need for prayer, and we need to encourage each other in the Rosary, especially because we hear that Our Lady asks us to pray the Rosary. So we have this plan, which we were able to put in to motion with the blessing of the Archbishop. That was the first thing that we did. After we got the idea, we wrote to the Archbishop and asked for his blessing, and he gave his blessing to us, Archbishop Niederauer. And by the way, I'd just like to ask for prayers for him because he's just undergone open heart surgery, so his health is a bit precarious. So we hope that he'll be able to, be with us that day in October. And so the city has granted us permission to gather at the Civic Center, which is next to the City Hall and close to the downtown area. So it's a very central location, and we're really looking forward to hearing Father Apostoli give us his inspirational talk that's already on our website, Family Rosary Crusade 2011. You can see Father Apostoli encouraging the participation. So we'll try to take the advice of Colleen and Kendall and use more appropriately these social networking, and maybe they can give us some advice too about how to do that.
And now the actual rally is going to be in the plaza area, right?
Yes, it will be. It's a large plaza area. There are up to 50,000 or more people can be there at one time, and this is something that other groups have had smaller rosary events over the years. And in fact, one group that's been there every year, I think for the last 10 years, they've graciously joined with us to make a larger event. And that plaza has been the site of the Giants victory celebration after the World Series and also the Super Bowl victories in the past. So it's a very important part of the tradition of the city, and so we just want to use our freedom, the gift of freedom that we have of religion, to honor Our Lady. We have that freedom, and she can help us if we go to her, and that's our message about the Rosary. If we pray the Rosary, peace will come as she promised, and we really believe that with all our heart.
You know what I think too is so great about events like this is that it can really jumpstart people to praying the Rosary and to a greater devotion to our Blessed Mother. And as you mentioned, there's so many things, for family life, as Father Peyton would tell people to, the family that prays together stays together, certainly for peace. And so could you tell us as well about what are your personal hopes that would result from this event?
Well, I would hope that it would inspire a new and fresh love for the Rosary, which is so deeply rooted in our Catholic faith, and it's produced great saints. And Our Lady promised that peace would come. We know at Fatima that was the message, so strong and clear, and she promised the triumph of her Immaculate Heart, and so we would like to participate in that. But also, we have to be practical about this, we have a pledge campaign. We're asking people to pledge a rosary in the family, just like Father Peyton did, as many times as you can a week, if it could be daily, or if not, once or twice a week. But we have cards that we're distributing along with the flyers to people so that they can pledge that commitment to the Rosary, because we really feel that this is something we need to encourage each other to do. It's not always easy, but if we encourage each other, and this event, hopefully will spark that commitment that we want to have in each one of us individually. And I think that was a fruit of the previous rally of Father Peyton, that there was a period of peace and in the city and the surrounding areas, and it kind of developed, maybe not in the best way later on, but there was a time of peace and tranquility in the family, and so we're hoping that will come again.
Right. Now, you were at that first one with Father Peyton.
Yes, I was. I was a little older than Kendall and Colleen's father. I was 9 years old, and I was able to walk with my brothers and sisters and my parents because we only lived about a mile away. And what I remember was it was a beautiful day, and it was peaceful, and it seemed to go so quickly. It was like I wanted it to continue because it was such a wonderful experience. And Father Peyton, he was out just all by himself too. It was a little bit hard to hear because we were far away, but just his presence really inspired me. And throughout the years, these 50 years, I've looked back on that day as something special, and wanting to almost relive it in my memory, and now hopefully in reality.
Right. Are there any practical things you'd like to tell people that are going? It's October 15th at...
Well, there is information on the website about transportation, so that would be good to go to the website. And like I said, Father Apostoli's encouragement is there. His little Alocutio is there. And beyond that, spread the word. You can download flyers, you can print them out, and continue to pray the Rosary. And one thing that also I wanted to say was that Father Apostoli will have a Mass that morning at 9 o'clock at the Shrine of St. Francis of Assisi, which is in San Francisco's North Beach. It's the National Shrine of St. Francis of Assisi. So you could also make a full day of it by attending Mass with Father Apostoli at that shrine.
Right, it's a beautiful shrine. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Ray.
Well, thank you, Father Mark. It's been a real pleasure and an honor. I love EWTN and Life on the Rock.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a minute with Colleen and Kendall speaking about the Family Rosary Crusade in San Francisco. So don't go away.
They and we are here united for one purpose: homage to a gentle Virgin Mary through the Rosary. Father Peyton's hand is raised in blessing and greeting in answer to the eager outstretched hands waving below. A sea of human souls, a throng estimated at well over 500,000. Indeed, one of the largest religious gatherings ever assembled in North America. This is truly the hour.
I
Welcome back to Life on the Rock, and we're talking about this great Family Rosary Crusade in San Francisco. You know, Doug, something that struck me, what he said, he remembered as a young boy, Ray just said on the, Ray Frost said, he was there at that original one, 1961, with Father Peyton, and he remembered the joy of it and being together. He was a 9-year-old, right? He wanted to stay there. And I just want to encourage people with that. I think sometimes in our Catholicism, you know, we get very privatized, and it's just, I just go to the parish, you know, I come home, and to get out in a public way, in front of City Hall in San Francisco, right? I mean, you know, that's pretty bold, but there's a great spirit of communio there. There's a great spirit of encouragement. You know, if you haven't experienced something like that, it's really tremendous. I mean, Doug and I just came back from World Youth Day, and there's that power and solidarity. Isn't that true?
And we noticed that even at World Youth Day, riding the subway, the metro, when you would see, you know, groups from different countries singing in French or in Spanish in their native language. You're hearing this community, this togetherness, this bond, and it is powerful, and it's enriching, and it helps us, reminds us that we're not alone. And when you're out there with a group of people praying such a powerful prayer as the Rosary, as a family praying it, there's something beautiful there. But as the bigger family, I asked you before the show, I know girls, what's so great about it? I mean, what's the big deal about thousands of people coming together?
You get that teenage kind of...
Yeah, I get that kind of, you know, that attitude going there, right? No. But there are going to be people who are going to say, well, what's the big deal? You know, why come together just to pray a rosary and hear some talks and adore the Blessed Sacrament? And there are a lot of people who don't know anything about this sort of approach. So why is it, and you had a great answer, you know, before the show about, about why it's good for families to get together, and then the larger scale of the bigger family of all of us. Do you remember what you said about that?
I think it's so important for, regardless if you go to this event as a family or an individual, you're all coming together. You're all coming together in something you feel so passionate about, you believe so strongly in, and I think that is the message that Father Peyton wanted, all to be together.
Well, I mean, his statement, the family that prays together stays together, much bigger picture than just the family, me and my wife and my kids. It's the family of all of us in the faith of Christians.
Well, Kendall, you had an interesting observation about that. You remember you said, well, Father Peyton came over here from Ireland, leaving his natural family.
Yeah, he did leave his mom and dad when he came over to the United States only with his brother. And as I was doing some research, I found it interesting that he had just a common theme in all of his work was family. Family, family, family. And I think he was able to find his family through all of these crusades.
Yeah, that's right. I think, Doug's mentioned how we connect with the greater family, the body of Christ, and especially Our Lady, our Mother, joins us together with one another in the family. And I know, Kendall, you mentioned too, you look forward to going there with your biological family, right? And so what a spirit of peace. Now we also have on the phone Eva Montaigne. Eva is a promoter of this event, and we know Eva very well from the Walk for Life out in San Francisco every year. Eva, are you there?
I'm here. Hi, Father Mark.
That's a nice picture of you, Eva. We got flashed up there. You sent in?
I can't see it because I don't have, I'm at work, so I don't have the TV here.
Right. But you're promoting this event. What are some of the things you're getting the word out about this event?
Well, I hope you've had a chance to talk with Ray, because the Legion of Mary is the main organizer of the event.
We did.
And basically they came to me and asked me to help them because they had seen how successful the Walk for Life was, and they wanted help in getting the word out about it. And I work at Ignatius Press, and my boss, Tony Ryan, is a great devotee of Father Peyton. I've heard about Father Peyton for many, many years. And so when they came to me and asked me that, it seemed like it was just meant to be. And I immediately knew that San Francisco could use another event besides the Walk for Life to bring the message of our Lord, you know, to this city of St. Francis.
I know. Well, can you talk about that? Where, you know, San Francisco seems to be losing its reputation, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but we're working hard at it. We're chipping away at it.
Can you talk about, I mean, you've been there many years, you're involved with a lot of different activities and stuff. What's it like? I mean, there's a strong faith current there present that we don't hear about in the media?
Well, I really believe that. I mean, in 2 days, it'll mark my 18th year anniversary here in San Francisco, and I love this city. I mean, I feel like in 18 years I've gotten to know it well, and certainly it has its problems, and it has some major problems, but there's such a vibrant group of faithful here. There are marvelous, different orders here, the Missionaries of Charity, the Little Sisters of the Poor, the Carmelites, the Dominicans. I mean, we have such great orders of nuns and priests here. So I think that people don't understand and realize that because they only hear the bad, that we have a tremendous amount of faithful here.
And that's what I think is one of the great aspects of these events. I know that's what impressed me the first year I went out for the Walk for Life, is that there is this giant out there that we don't hear about. And sometimes these events can serve to wake that giant, right? To rouse them and to make an impact.
That's right. There's a sleeping giant here, and we're trying to tickle it awake. we're trying to shake it up and wake it up, and I think it's working. I think people have just taken so much to these events. As you know, the Walk for Life is growing every year. This event here, this is the first time that they're doing a commemorative event for this Father Peyton's Rosary Rally, but it's spreading like wildfire. Everybody's excited. There's already buses that are going to be coming from different locations. There's a huge contingent from Sacramento. I mean, the word is really getting out. People are excited, and I think it shows you that people are hungry for this.
Eva, hi, Doug here. How you doing?
Hi, Doug.
Doing well?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to.
No,
I'm doing great.
I was waiting for you to tell me how you're doing. No, that's okay. I know we've just been exchanging some emails recently as well. But hey, do us a favor if you could, please. There's a lot of people out there who are hearing about this, and for some people it's the first time. And there are going to be those out there wondering, why do this? Why get together for a big event like this? On a natural level, it's exciting. There's a great energy to it. On a natural level for family, it's great. You're there with your family, your wife, your kids, your husband, whatever. But on the supernatural level, Our Lady has called for this for years, hasn't she? Can you talk a little bit about the fact that the Blessed Mother herself has come to the world repeatedly, all the church-approved apparitions, and she has said over and over and over again to pray the Rosary. Can you speak about that a bit?
Well, yes. In fact, Doug, you hit it right on the head. When these guys came to me to ask me for my help with this event, the number one thing that popped up in my mind is how badly our world needs it, and how badly we need people to remember the Rosary. I mean, I remember, before my reversion back to my faith, that no one ever out there in the secular world, outside of the few good faithful that we have, they don't hear about the Rosary. They don't know the power of the Rosary. They don't know what our Blessed Mother has asked. And I think doing these kind of rallies, it wakes people up. I mean, I've talked to people about this Rosary Rally who said, oh, you know what? My parents were there. I remember when we were kids, we used to pray the Rosary. And then all of a sudden they realized that, wait a minute, that must be something that they should be doing now. In fact, we were having lunch at a restaurant down the street here by Ignatius Press, and I was with a couple of priests there. And the people next to us were from Canada, and they were just here visiting San Francisco, and they overheard what we were talking about. We happened to be talking about the Rosary Rally. And it was amazing. They told us stories. They said that when they were little, they remember their parents praying. They used to pray together as a family. And literally, by the end of the conversation, they were thinking, yeah, maybe we should be praying the Rosary, or at least thinking about praying the Rosary in our families. So just by listening to it, hearing about it, knowing about it, seeing the enthusiasm about it, I think it is going to wake up people.
Yeah, I mean, the stories are countless out there in the history of our faith of wars that have been shortened, or certain attacks that have been avoided. Yeah, wars that have been avoided due to societies, nations rising up and praying the Rosary. Columns of tanks being turned away because there were thousands of people praying the Rosary. And I forget the service down in Central America. The tank commander sees this woman above them all, and he turned the tanks around and left. All due to the faith of the people and the power of the intercession of the Blessed Mother. And you're right, this is something it's forgotten, but it can't be forgotten. And events like this can really help remind us something much deeper, can't they?
That's exactly right, and that's why I've been working tirelessly on trying to get the word out and making sure that even here in San Francisco, we're working on the secular media to make them understand that this is happening, and maybe they'll mention it, they'll talk about it, because anything like that, you never know who's listening. You never know who's in their car driving to work and has the radio on, hears something, and it sparks something. I mean, the God can use the smallest things, and so we're working tirelessly to get the word out.
And about this event too, I like the connection, the historical connection, you know, celebrating this 50 years ago, this great event where 550,000 people, you know, probably one of the largest gatherings in San Francisco history. You know,
yes, in fact, Father Mark, I've tried to find an event that is larger in numbers in San Francisco. I have yet to be able to find one. I really believe that it, I mean, I could be proven wrong, but I have not been able to find any event in the San Francisco's history that has brought more people together. And that says so much. You know, if we can get that out there to make people think, I mean, you never know. It could set a fire in people's souls, you know?
Right. Yeah. I love the connection with history and that, you know, because sometimes in the secular world they say, well, you guys are coming in over the top and imposing this. You know, California was settled by Franciscans, right? And Ray was telling me earlier, you know, he goes back generations to that area, and he even has Native American blood and ancestry in him. So, you know, he's been there a long time, and he talks about the Catholic roots. So, more power to you, and we'll certainly be praying for you and the success of this event.
Well, I'm really looking forward to. Well, I'll send you all pictures. Maybe you can do a follow-up afterward and let people know how it went.
Yeah, make one of your great videos for us, and we'll show it.
You got it. I'll be doing that just for you.
All right, thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, God bless you all.
Thank you. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Colleen and Kendall speaking about the great Rosary Rally that's going to take place in San Francisco. So don't go away. We'll be back in a minute.
Within my soul of the tremendous power the Holy Rosary possesses for those who love it, for those who believe in it, for those who use it to make for any husband a happy home to live in, to make for any wife a home of love and justice and mercy to live in, to make for any son and daughter who uses it with love and sincerity a home of tranquility and harmony and love and joy and justice to live in. This is my fire. This is what our holy God has placed within me since he ordained me a priest 20 years ago.
I want to live my life on the run. I want to build my life on the run. I want to live my life on the run. I want to build my life on the run.
Hi, welcome back to Life on the Rock. We're talking about the Rosary, the Family Rosary Crusade in San Francisco that's coming up October 15th. Be there if you're able to. We have Colleen and Kendall. You all mentioned to me about maybe a positive influence you feel like you all can have on your friends, your young friends, to go to this event. Your seniors in high school. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So, being that we go to a Catholic school that promotes all religions, and I mean, of course, everyone's welcome to go to the school. That's just the philosophy. We feel that kids our age don't really feel as if, not that it's appropriate, but they kind of, I think, are shy in a sense that, well, why would I go to that? I don't want to embarrass myself, that type of thing. So I think by promoting our friends to go would make a greater statement for those types of people to tell their parents, hey, I'm going to the Family Rosary Crusade today, like, why don't we all go? And so I think that just by spreading the word and having a positive attitude would make a difference.
Do you think that there are some youth out there these days from your school or elsewhere that feel like something like this is too bold and might be a way of feeling like they're intimidating others and imposing on others? Because it's a very, very vocal, public statement to join with thousands of people with rosary beads in your hands. It makes a clear statement. It's like making a sign of the cross in a public restaurant to say a prayer before you eat your meal. Everybody in the restaurant that sees it knows you're Catholic. And there are some people that are afraid of that because they're afraid, well, I don't be so bold as to make somebody else feel bad by doing this. Do you think that there's some who are afraid of that? And they might be intimidating other people or imposing on them?
I mean, I definitely think that some are probably intimidated, but I think a lot of people are like, well, I don't want this to be too much, or I don't want to be too bold. I think that's kind of almost where it's going. But I don't know. Not for us. Not for us.
Not for you, huh? Have you all been to the Walk for Life out in San Francisco?
We have not.
Right.
In
We'll look for you next time.
Yes, we'll be there.
But I know at the Walk for Life there is a great representation from, in fact, it's mostly young people, really. Can you talk about that? Why do you think young people are getting more and more involved? And maybe...
I think that for the Walk for Life, being pro-life, I think more and more youth are put up against teenage
stereotypes?
Stereotypes, but pressure.
Yeah.
And so I think that, what do I think?
Well, I think there's a parallel too.
Yeah,
right?
and so if the Walk for Life can engage from kids to being babies to adults, that variety, I don't see why the Rosary Crusade couldn't do the same.
Do the same thing. I know. Were you asked by your friends, like why you were coming here? San Francisco is very hip, and Alabama is not very hip. And they ask you that in Marin County, Kendall, why you're coming to Alabama?
Yeah, we were faced with that question, and my initial response was, because I want to. But once we were able to explain it in depth, they were like, wow, some people were like, wow, that's really cool, and some people still had the same, well, why
They just didn't understand why we would be missing school to or not missing school, but why we would participate in this, because I just don't think have the family belief and practice and understanding of why kids our age would want to.
Right. But you're on international TV being viewed and listened to by millions of people right now. Who wouldn't want to be hip like that? Now, any message you would want to give to the people out there watching and listening, the millions, about what they could do, say, with social networking to help spread this?
Yeah, I mean, today everything you post is seen by all your friends, and so I think if you were to go to the website, which is www.familyrosarycrusade2011.com, and just post it as your Facebook status, post it on your friends' walls, tweet about it, I think that will get the message out.
I honestly think it will spread like wildfire, no doubt.
Okay, now we have a promo that Ray mentioned earlier from Father Apostoli. He will be the keynote speaker. He'll be the main celebrant at the Mass. I think it's 9 o'clock at the shrine there in San Francisco. So why don't we roll this promo from Father Andrew Apostoli.
Father Andrew Apostoli, a member of the Franciscan Friars of the Renewal. I'm here today to invite you to join with me on October 15th in San Francisco at a wonderful Rosary Rally that we're planning. It's to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Rosary Rallies that Father Patrick Peyton, now a servant of God, had conducted in the San Francisco area. And he had an estimated audience or a gathering of 550,000 people. Isn't that wonderful? Well, he was a very saintly man. That's why he's up for canonization, and I'm sure he will be a canonized saint. Remember, he was the rosary priest. I remember him as a young boy, and I loved the way he would speak, and that accent, his little Irish accent, that was just so welcoming. And he would challenge us. The family that prays together stays together. And you know, we need to renew that, because Our Lady at Fatima told us how important the rosary was. She said to the little children, little Jacinta, little Francisco, and little Lucia, the visionaries there, the little shepherd children, she told them that the rosary is so powerful that the rosary could stop wars. The rosary could bring world peace. The rosary could convert sinners. And that's why she asked, one of the only things she asked for in all 6 of her apparitions in the Cova at Fatima was pray the rosary every day. And you know, this rally we hope will inspire so many thousands. We're hoping to get 15 to 20,000 people to come. Imagine the power of those rosaries that day with so many people praying together. And I know the Mother of God is going to be there in a special way to be with her children gathered on that special day. So please come. If you're in the neighborhood, you can make it. I'd love to see you there. God love you.
All right. Well, good words from Father Andrew. Thank you so much, Colleen and Kendall.
Thank you for having us.
I know you're busy, and it's a big effort to come over here, so thank you so much, and we'll give you a blessing. The Lord be with you. May our Heavenly Father shine His face upon you. May He give you His peace, and may you be wrapped in Our Lady's mantle, and may Almighty God bless you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We'll see you next week.